Vision, more specifically a player's eyes, are an incredibly emphasized part of the Blue Lock series, and quite frankly, how could it not be? Considering when playing a sport, it would make sense that your eyes would be needed in order to play effectively. Now, when referring to eyes in Blue Lock, there are a ton of unique patterns and designs that provide a character with a special ability. But what exactly are the different eye styles, and what does each ability grant you? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be covering every unique eye pattern in the series and explaining the ability granted to the user, as well as its effect on their playstyle. I'm also going to be breaking this down a lot more than it needs to be, just because it's really fun to analyze stuff. Before I begin, I want to leave a spoiler warning for the most recent chapters of Blue Lock, and if you aren't caught up to the most recent chapters, I would suggest clicking off this video right now because there will be spoilers. Now, the very first vision style that we're going to be covering is actually the first unique eye pattern that we see in the series, which is dubbed Egoist eyes. Now, Egoist eyes are shown very early in the series, however, as the manga continues, they're showing up less and less. Egoist eyes appear as white eyes with these random spiraling lines within it. These eyes usually appear as players enter a state of immense concentration. To put it simply, these eyes appear on a character when they lock in. We see this eye pattern appear several times throughout the series, some instances being Isagi kicking Kira out of Blue Lock, Bachida and Isagi locking in during the match against Team X, and when Bachida sends a pass to Nagi in the second selection. As for a special ability, this eye doesn't really give the user a special ability aside from getting that player to lock in and get it into the zone during play. Now, this is very similar to another vision style which I'll be talking about next, that vision style being known as flow state eyes. Flow state eyes are shown a little later in the series, with them beginning to appear in the U20 match, with them continuing to appear in the latest arc being the NEL. Flow state eyes appear to be these scratchy looking lines forming the shape of an eye. Now, like Egoist eyes, this vision style appears when a player enters flow, which is essentially Blue Lock's equivalent of the zone from Kuroko's basket. However, the difference between these two vision styles is that flow state eyes is basically the upgraded version of Egoist eyes. You could think of it like a Pokemon evolution, where these flow state eyes are the evolved form of these Egoist eyes. When a player reaches a certain skill level, those traditional Egoist eye patterns will stop appearing and instead will be replaced by the flow state eye design. Now, it's not confirmed truthfully whether or not these eyes are indicative of a flow state, however, we've seen them appear when players are confirmed to be in their flow state, so we're kind of putting two and two together and saying when a player has these eyes, they are in flow, which is why many fans consider these to be flow state eyes. Now, the next vision style we're going to be covering is one of the most iconic from the Blue Lock manga, which is Metavision. This unique ability's design is that of a circular grid-like pattern covering the entire eye. However, in the case of our protagonist, Yoichi Isagi, his Metavision is instead puzzle pieces replacing the grid pattern. Now, we don't actually know why Isagi has this unique Metavision pattern, however, it could probably just be boiled down to main character treatment. Metavision is an ability that essentially grants the user an omnipotent perspective of the pitch. The simplest way to describe that is that Metavision allows the user to see the future.
I can see the future!
By using the peripherals of your eye as well as head rotation, you're able to visually input the movements of players and the ball during a game. And with the power of a high-functioning and quick processing brain, the user is able to create a prediction of the next key moment of the game. Now, when using Metavision, a player is able to identify something called a meta point. A meta point is essentially the most critical moment of the pitch at that point during the game. This can be a player, a weapon, or even simply the ball and its location. When a Metavision user injects themselves into a meta point, that is known as a meta burst point. We see Isagi use this ability quite often, however, it's mostly used on defense. We see him use it to stop Nagi alone, as well as predict Ryo and Nagi's plan. We also see him use his ability offensively, where he rushed to the pristine location to score a goal. Now, a meta point is visible to all Metavision users, as shown with Kaiser, who came to interrupt Isagi's shot. We can confirm this as well, seeing as Isagi and Kaiser both rushed to the same location, which is being marked as a meta point. Now, there are a lot of characters who possess Metavision, with there currently being 8 confirmed users of Metavision as of right now in the story. That being Isagi, Ryo, Hiyori, Aiku, Nico, Charles, Snuffy, and Kaiser. People like to assume that Rin and Sai both have Metavision, however, it hasn't been confirmed yet. Another misconception about Metavision is that every professional player has Metavision. Players like Loki, Noel Noah, and Chris Prince are not confirmed Metavision users, nor are they guaranteed to be one just because they are a professional player. Isagi himself confirmed that Metavision isn't an ability that's able to be used by everyone, which he determines by asking the other Bastard members what he thinks about his recent play. We see that there are players who have the ability to rival Metavision users without the use use of Metavision. This was shown with Lorenzo being able to consistently lock down Kaiser even without the use of Metavision. There are also incomplete Metavision users, which is slightly different than that of full Metavision users. An example of an incomplete Metavision user are players like Aiku and Nico. Incomplete Metavision is essentially just Metavision, however they're leaving out one crucial step of the formula which makes it incomplete and therefore not as good. We see that Aiku and Nico currently struggle to fully awaken their Metavision because they lack the use of head rotation, which if used right isn't necessarily needed. However, in the two plays that those two have participated in, head rotation would definitely result in a better outcome and use of their vision as opposed to not using it. Now after speaking on Metavision, we should look at its direct opposite, known as Predator Eye. This vision style's unique design is that of a predatory cat, where the pupil of the eye becomes a slit. Predator Eye, being the exact opposite of Metavision, works by narrowing a player's vision rather than expanding it. While you may believe this to be a negative, it's actually a positive if used correctly. Because a Predator Eye's user vision narrows, all of the information that they input and process is only on what is in front of them, meaning in relation to obtaining information solely on what is in front of them, Predator Eye users are superior to that of Metavision users. This is the main reason as to why in the Ubers match, Baro was able to outperform Isagi. Now looking at the users of Predator Eye, we only have two confirmed users, that being Baro and Kaiser. And with these two users, each uses Predator Eye very differently. Baro uses Predator Eye for shooting, while Kaiser uses it for one-on-ones as well as shooting. While looking at shooting first, Predator Eye allows the user to focus on the goalie while constantly in motion around the pitch. This allows for the user to make a shot the second that they notice the goalkeeper is becoming hesitant or slips up in their timing. This grants the shooter a near 100% chance at scoring a goal, as the goalie would be unable to react in time. Now the way Kaiser uses it is a little different. The foundation is still the same, however when shooting, Kaiser typically focuses on the goal itself, isolating the most optimal spot to shoot given the current situation. We see this happen in the Manchan City match, the Ubers match, and the PXG match. So while it's still not the same usage for shooting, the foundation is still the same. Kaiser also uses his Predator Eye to win one-on-one situations. He simply waits for his opponent to mess up the timing before slipping by them or sending a pass to someone like Ness. Now the next style of vision I'm going to be mentioning isn't actually a confirmed unique vision style, but is more one that's been headcanoned by the community to have some sort of unique ability. This vision style being known as Analytical Vision. Analytical Vision belongs to three characters in the series who all play different positions on the pitch, that being Loki, Karasu, and Lorenzo. Now because this vision style is simply a headcanon, we don't have any confirmed abilities that it grants to the user. However, I'm going to be giving you my best guess based on the people who use it. Analytical Vision allows the user to lock onto the most important players on the pitch and input massive amounts of information on those specific players into their brain. The reason for this being my guess as to its ability is simply because that given the eye shape, it's very close to Metavision, it's just missing the connecting lines. It also gives the appearance of being somewhat like a blank radar that identifies the biggest threats on the field. This prediction actually works really well given the playstyles of the people who have these eyes. When looking at Loki, we see Loki use his Godspeed weapon to create these long shredded dribbles that weave between players. We see him do this in the World 5 match, and if you really think about it, it looks very similar to Yukimiya's course identification that he creates when he enters flow state. My guess is that these eyes give Loki the ability to view the most critical players on the pitch and create a dribbling route that lets him get into the place he needs to score from incredibly quickly without resulting in a dangerous player catching him. This is why Loki added this little comment when Rin caught up to him in the World 5 match.
Your route's too obvious.
You've got good foresight, but I'm fast.
It was because he created this sprinting course to where even Rin couldn't catch him in the instance that he predicted his running course. For Karasu, this vision is utilized differently in the third selection than it is in the NEL. In the third selection, Karasu identifies these strong players, then only targets the weaker ones. However, in the NEL, Karasu is now actively targeting these strong players, as seen with him pressing both Kaiser and Isagi. And for Lorenzo, it's nearly the same as Karasu's use, where he identifies the strongest player and then actively marks them. Again though, we don't have any confirmed proof that this vision style actually grants the user with a unique ability, but if it did, that would be my prediction. The next unique vision pattern is Berserker Vision. Now, like Analytical Vision, Berserker Vision is only a headcanon in the sense that it grants the user a unique ability. Berserker Vision is the unique eye pattern of Itoshi Rin when he enters flow state. This eye pattern looks almost like a whirlpool with these lines appearing within the eye itself, which look like a whirlpool pulling towards the center of the eye. Now this vision style is the only one we can confirm does not grant the user a unique ability because this vision style is indicative of Rin's flow state. We see from Rin's flow state that he acts more destructive in nature, causing his plays to become irrational, inefficient, but very powerful and effective. Rin, while in flow, actively focuses on a single goal and pushes towards that goal, doing everything possible to get there, which could be what this pattern is signifying. Many fans actually predict that this is something that Rin can do outside of his flow state, however I personally just don't believe that. Now finally, the last vision on our list is something that I'm labeling as dartboard lens. Dartboard lens is a vision style that appears to be very similar to Metavision, however it has the opposite change that Analytical vision does, in the sense that you remove the inner rings to create this vision style. Now the only confirmed character in the series with this vision style is Charles, so when looking at what we think this ability does, we need to look at what Charles has done with this vision style active. And yes, this is most definitely an ability based vision style, and we can confirm this by the sound effects when Charles activates this vision style. We see this happen with Kaiser and Baro when they activate their Predator Eye. From what we've seen of this unique eye pattern, it most likely has something to do with passing or linking up with other players. My best guess is that this vision style allows for the user to visualize the trajectory of their pass nearly perfectly even before launching the ball. This allows for the player to be able to adjust their pass speed, spin, and location even before they kick it. This would explain why Charles is not only able to hit such insane passes, but also shoot through spots that would normally be impossible to shoot through. Many fans believe that this vision style is simply Metavision, however like Isagi's, it has a unique vision pattern. One issue with this theory is that Charles is already shown to have Metavision, and unfortunately, it's just the standard circular grid-like look. And with that, those were all of the unique vision styles in BLUELOCK. I hope you guys did enjoy this video and will leave requests for future videos down below in the comment section. Before this video ends, I want to just announce that eventually I'm going to be collaborating with Fofo Tsukiyomi on his channel, where we're going to be discussing what if Hitoshi Rin went to Bastard Munshin. If this is something that you're looking forward to, head on over to his channel or click the link in the description, go over, sub to him, and turn on notifications so you'll be notified when the video posts. For the question of the video, which vision style would you want to have in real life? Leave me your answers down below in the comment section. And like always, thank you all for watching, like and subscribe for more content just like this.